Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at Made in Abyss, episode 11. So, this show is very interesting. One thing, my only complaint about this whole week's episode, and I'm just going to throw it out there right away, was easily the 3-minute recap of last episode. Like, that wasn't necessary. That really wasn't. I get that maybe some people might want to re-see some of the stuff that happened near the end, of course, and maybe see it from a different perspective, like where did that weird little bunny rabbit thing come from. But it wasn't that necessary. That part was just my only complaint about it. It just felt like that was just there to save time. In terms of what else happened this week, though, we had the bunny rabbit creature, which is named a Hollow, so I should just really call it a Hollow, save Rico, essentially, or it looks like this saved Rico, knowing some very interesting, things of how to heal her, and, she had to use Reg's help, obviously, to get, various materials, etc. Probably what was creepiest, by the way, was those weird, mushrooms that shoot out spores and liquid into its host, because they're actually parasites. And they actually revive it if it starts faltering. So it's like on these little creatures that they walk around, and if they start dying off, it actually revives them essentially. I gotta admit that's really creepy. I get this whole symbiote process and all that because that's something that the real world has in general too. Like there are various creatures that do that, but it's really creepy to see it nonetheless. Oh god, especially that she put those mushrooms on Rico's arm. And was able to clearly it was able to fix up Rico's arm and stuff like that. But I do have one major question, and that's in the form of what the hell is that thing that the Hollow is holding on to? That's that weird. It looks like a failed experiment of sorts. It kind of looks like it was supposed to be a bunny also, but it's missing like a mouth, like a regular mouth. Its eyes all messed up. It just looks like a creature. And it seems to be infatuated, as we see at the ending, it seems to be infatuated with Rico because it's over her, crying out to her. And meanwhile, we have Reg only a moment ago talking about Liza and how Ozen said that she did bury her, but there was nothing there at the same time. I'm not going to say that little creature thing is Liza. I'm not saying that. Really not. I don't want people to go, oh, you... No, I'm not trying to make that kind of concept. But it did cross my mind for 1 second. What if that was her? What if she came back as one of those? Because, there's a lot of different thoughts about what the Hollows are in the show so far. And I've been hearing people talk about them saying that they might be survivors that have died and come back to life in another form, or were kind of mutated into that form. We see from the Hollow's past that apparently she did know an explorer, or looks like I don't want to say a robot, but that looked like a weird mask that guy was wearing. It was very strange. But she knew him, and apparently he was taking care of her originally. So, or I'm presuming it's a her. It probably is a dude. I think that rabbit thing is a dude for the sheer fact that it talks like the way it does. But or at least has no chest or anything like that. But then again, it's a rabbit. I don't know too much about animals when it comes to that. So I don't know if it's a male or female. But I'm very curious. I really am. If you guys do happen to know if that's male or female from read the manga, you can feel free to put in the comments, because I know other people will probably ask, and it'll help them out too. So you can spoil it and say if it's a girl or a guy. That's perfectly fine. Don't talk too much if you know their backstory. If for example, if I'm right about the whole death and kind of being reincarnated into one of those creatures, don't talk about that too much, because that's overly spoilish. But this week's episode was solid. I don't want to say it was super eventful. It was more so just a lot of embarrassing moments with Rico, and Reg being there with watching the Hollow basically undress her, shove a weird wax candle up her butt, which was kind of funny to be honest with you. I was like, okay, sure, and various other things. But this week's episode was solid for the most part. I really did enjoy it. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. As always, let me know what you thought about this week's episode. I still have 18F episode, I believe 10 or 11 also to review today, and I also have Dive episode, I think 11 to review also. I will try to get to those as later as possible. I'm really kind of beat, so I'm probably not going to have those reviews out until later tonight. And they don't do that great anyway, so it's not really a rush for me. But I'll talk to you guys later. Have a brilliant, blessed day, everyone. God bless you all. Bye-bye.